Welcome back, OGR fans. Today we're going to start something I'm a little excited about. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I've been wanting to try the Super Jerk difficulty level. I don't know, felt like I was taking the easy way out, trying to get through it early on with the Ranger setting. Having played the Wasteland 1 as a kid, it was always difficult. A lot of those early games were difficult, so I want to jump into this difficulty, but also I wanted to build out two characters that were a lot of fun to play that I thought would be interesting. Maybe people would be interested in watching it, maybe not playing it themselves. But I'm going to use two of the more interesting quirks that they offer. One being Mime, which unlocks this full mime costume, and the other being a circus freak, which unlocks a full clown outfit. I had seen them building out my first set of characters, thought they were fun, but wasn't sure how they'd really fit into a normal RPG type of setup. Then I thought, let's just put them both together. So let's create two characters here. The Mime, a new series, the Mime and the Freak in Wasteland, or MF in Wasteland for short.
We can hit. You started.
So
They've
new targets in.
you come and get
it. Here comes the pain train.
Female for my Mime. Not a bookworm, but a mopey poet. This is another background I thought was funny, but wasn't sure who would want to be a mopey poet. But who better for a mopey poet than a Mime entering the Wasteland? So we're gonna have a female Mime, mopey poet. The appearance in this case isn't going to be that important because all this will get replaced with the Mime outfit. So I'm not even going to bother picking helmet, jacket, pants. I'm going to even toggle off the equipment. I actually like the interface design for that. Little check marks right next to the equipment itself. You don't have to go into the settings and turn off show helmet or not. You can change it as you get. If you get a really cool helmet or a really cool outfit, you can toggle it back on really easily if you want. So I think that was a really good design by the developers here. This one, I guess I'm going to try to throw all the fun little interesting concepts that they've put into this, such as compact. You go from stocky to compact, which is really tiny. So I thought that would make a good Mime. And in fact, it makes portrait selection really simple because there's a Mime. So I'll use my Mime for the Mime. Starting weapon, I was considering a brawling Mime. I thought that would be, or a blade wielding Mime, and I may end up getting there because what would be pretty scary is this Mime doing their Mime thing and then just taking you out with their blade. But for early game, I think a submachine gun, especially from my time playing Wasteland 1, I remember getting that Uzi. I always think of SMGs as just unloading whole clips. So this short, compact Mime with a bad attitude and a submachine gun, I like that concept too. So we're going to focus on that and probably move her into a bladed weapon maybe. I also think at the early game it's really difficult to have enough action points and damage to move right in front of someone and be able to be effective. So we're going to start with a little more range and then possibly move. I do want to try out brawling. The brawling system looks really interesting. But again, I don't think that's a really feasible early game strategy. So I'm going to start with the SMG for range. And the good thing about the automatic weapons is it also opens up assault rifles. And there's probably I would assume the largest amount of variety of assault rifles. So if later on in the game I get some really good assault rifles, I can switch over and then go back to the SMG. Because I do like the idea. The SMG is supposed to be, you get up close, you can unload your clip. I'm going to have her ambushing a lot, so I think that will really come in handy. And so unlike a normal ambusher, I think early game coordination is a big deal, having those action points so that you can move around. So I'm going to try to get as many action points as makes sense. 2, 4, 6, 8. So I'm going to go with 8 coordination. This should give me enough to take multiple shots at a turn and maybe even move in between, or at least set up a shot and then get into an ambush state. without running out of action points really quickly. Luck I'm not too worried about. I think having these percentage, even if I crit a lot of times, I'm not doing that much damage early on. So a crit, the small percentage of chance of crit and then the small increase in damage is really not going to be that beneficial up front. I am going to pump my awareness up to 2. I'm going to get that perception up, but there's also some range damage bonus in there. Strength I can keep low. Not planning on having a lot of constitution. And the melee and the throwing range is not that important right now. Speed will be important, so I'm going to move that up. I do want the evasion, but Mime actually does give you more evasion, I believe. So we're going to go with Mime. Mopey Poet actually gave more evasion. And then Intelligence 6, I'm going to go with, I think, having those action points, or not action points, the skill points that you get from 6 to 4, 6. And then, yeah, I don't think there's going to be a whole lot of charisma to this little mime with a bad attitude. So, skill points, action points, and then I'll probably bump up maybe awareness next after I get those 2 finished. Skills, gonna focus up front on automatic weapons. You just need 2 to start with on those. It opens up one of the perks. I might go 3 to get that Gopher Hunter perk, which helps you do a little bit more damage if they're in light cover. I just want to make sure I'm not going to run out. So I want her to be Lockpicker and be sneaky. And I want to give her one of the hard-ass skills, just to be able to use that dialogue, and plus it backs up her bad attitude. Lockpicking, and then the other one was sneaky. So now the choice is, do I want to go 2 sneaky? I don't think I need that right off the bat. I'm probably better off bumping up my automatic weapon. So automatic weapon, 1 sneaky, 1 lockpick, 1 hard. I think that will work well. And then my quirk is going to give me the final touch of the mime costume. So now we have our Mopey Poet Mime all ready to go with her submachine gun. And then we will move over to Freak. Our big circus freak. I'm going to go in the total opposite direction here.
New target.
Damn. It just got
It just got real.
Not Bookworm again. This one I was kind of going back and forth. Explode Maniac gives me more explosive damage bonus. And grenades are really helpful. This also helps with rocket launchers. Or Disciple of the Metal. Love the heavy metal riff and this idea of this gigantic clown with a flamethrower. So I'm still kind of torn on this one. I think explosive damage will be more beneficial early on. I'm not sure fire damage. I do really like the way they have flamethrowers set up here, and they're particularly useful against vehicles going forward. But early game, just being able to toss those grenades. I think I'm going to try Explode, as much as I like that metal riff. I think that will work out well. Again, appearance is not going to be as big a deal. I think, though, my default hair, it only makes sense to have a lot of bright red hair. So if I were ever to leave the clown costume, you got to have the hair still. Physique, this one I'm going gigantic, jacked as a circus freak. And again, the portrait becomes easy because there's the mad clown. So we have a start of our mad clown there. The starting weapon is going to be heavy weapon. I do plan on switching between the heavy machine gun and the flamethrower. But starting out with the heavy machine gun makes a lot of sense. The flamethrowers don't do as much damage. They always hit a cone. And it's just not going to be as effective in the beginning. But I would like to see this giant clown using a big powerful flamethrower later on. Again, I'm going to bump the coordination up to 8 to get all those action points. Especially with the heavy machine gun, they take quite a bit of action points to move and fire with. And I'd like to get two rounds if I could. So 8 coordination. No, I don't need all the luck. Luck's not going to help. This one I will move awareness up to 4. to get a little more hit chance out of it and a little more range damage bonus. I'd like him to do as much as possible. Strength he will also need a little bit more of. A little more constitution, since he'll probably be in the line of fire more. And the throwing range helps because the explosives will give him better grenade results. And then I have 1 point left, so intelligence I like to bump up just to get that extra skill point. You get 1 skill point for every 2 intelligence, so I'll take advantage of that early on. I'll leave the charisma low, although I think even if it's a mean clown, I'll still have a bit of charisma, but I'm out of points. So we will start with big guns, put 2 into that to get that first perk. Suppressing fire is a really cool skill. It takes a while to build it up, but you can just lay out a lot of damage in a cone in front of you. It comes in really handy when it's ready. I consider him big. He's going to be a little nerdy. He's big, nerdy, and explosive. I think I only have 1 point left for explosives. I wanted to put 2 into that, but I only have 1 point left. So let me double check my attributes. Coordination at 8 for the action points. I could do 6 and get another skill point, but I think that's fine. I'll level up fairly quickly. And then the quirk is going to be our circus freak. We get some crit resistance. Our evasion goes down. He wasn't going to be the one hiding and ambushing anyway. So here we have the mime, our murderous, sneaky submachine gun wielder, and then our circus freak with the heavy weaponry.